Good afternoon, Gulf Coast. I want to bring you some updates today on our church life. And before I do that, I want to just give you a little bit of background on the biblical perspective of the church, just to lay the groundwork for the things that I'm going to announce. You know, one of the prevailing views of the church among many American Christians primarily looks at us as individuals and church as something that we do once a week or a place that we go once a week in order to do certain things. But that's not the biblical view of the church. This individualistic view of the church looks at a believer a little bit like, say, a car that drives around on its own during the week and comes into church on Sunday to get gassed up so that it can go out and drive on its own again. But the biblical view of its church looks at us not primarily as individuals, but as a family, as one body that has many different members. And this comes from 1 Corinthians chapter 12, where Paul describes the church as a body that builds itself up in love when each member, like a hand or a foot, does its part to serve the body and honor the head, which is Jesus Christ. And the church life is viewed in the New Testament as life together. In Acts chapter 2, verse 42, we see that the early believers were devoted to the apostles' teaching, to fellowship, breaking of bread, prayers. They lived life together as a family, as one, as a body. Well, obviously that's what we as leaders of this church want to strive to be. And so if that's what the church is, and not just a thing that you do on Sunday, but life lived throughout the whole week, how do we as a church do that? Well, for a long time, care groups have been very important to our church as a way to do that, meeting in homes during the week. Unfortunately, COVID has interrupted that for a while, and so we went to a micro group format. But I'm really happy to announce that this week, this coming week, we're going to be starting back in care groups. We sent out a fairly lengthy email communication with the details of how we're getting started again on care groups. If you didn't receive that, please let one of the leadership team know so that we can make sure that you have access to that. But the gist is that we're starting 3 brand new care groups. Every person has been assigned to one of these groups so that whether you're able to make it regularly or not, at least there's a care group leader who's going to be checking up on you and trying to care for every member of the church. So please gain access to that communication. Take a look at it if you haven't already, and we're really excited to bring care groups back. If you're still not able to meet in person for a care group due to a medical concern, your care group leader will definitely figure out how to do that through an online means or some other way. The other thing I'm really happy to announce is that tomorrow we're bringing back nursery for ages 3 and below, and then next Sunday on the 20th, Breakout for K through 5 is going to be available. So we're hoping that this will enable the church to meet even more regularly and in person on Sundays as well. We look forward to both of these things. We love you all and really do want to live as a family and as a body. And because of our love for you guys, we're just so excited that we're able to announce that these things are coming back. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning.